Once upon a time, in the middle of winter, when snowflakes fell like little white feathers from the sky, a queen sat sewing by her window with a frame of black ebony. While watching the snowfall, she accidentally pricked her finger with the needle, and 3 drops of bright red blood fell onto the pure white snow. The queen, admiring the contrast of blood on snow, wished for a daughter with skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as black as ebony. Soon after, she gave birth to Snow White, but tragically died. A year later, the king remarried a beautiful but proud and arrogant woman who owned a magic mirror. She hated anyone more beautiful than her and would always ask it,
"Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?"
The magic mirror always answered,
"Your Majesty, you are the fairest of them all."
By age 7, Snow White had become more beautiful than the queen, and when the queen asked the mirror, it declared,
"Queen, you are fair, it is true, but Snow White is 1,000 times fairer than you."
The queen turned pale with jealousy and ordered a huntsman to take Snow White deep into the forest to kill her and bring back her heart and liver as proof. The huntsman spared Snow White, killing a boar instead and giving its heart and liver to the queen, who believed she had eaten Snow White's heart. As for Snow White, she ran terrified through the deep forest, her feet bleeding from sharp stones and thorns, until nightfall when she found a small cottage. Inside, the house was small but tidy, with 7 tiny plates on the table and 7 little beds with white sheets. Hungry and tired, Snow White ate a little food from each plate, drank a sip of wine, and then fell asleep on the 7th bed. When night came, the 7 dwarf miners returned. They were surprised to see things moved around and discovered a beautiful girl sleeping on the bed. The next morning, Snow White told the dwarfs her story. They pitied her, let her stay, and warned her to lock the door against her stepmother. At the palace, the queen, thinking Snow White was dead, asked the mirror again, which still declared Snow White 1,000 times fairer. Consumed by jealousy, she made a poisoned comb to kill Snow White. She disguised herself as an old woman and tricked Snow White into letting her comb her hair. Snow White let the stranger comb her hair, but the poisoned comb made her fall unconscious. The dwarfs returned in time, removed the comb, and Snow White slowly regained consciousness. Hearing Snow White was alive, the queen went mad and made a poisoned apple half red and deadly, half white and safe.
"Don't be afraid, child. See what a lovely apple I have for you. It's fresh from my
She disguised
orchard."
herself as a peasant, tricked Snow White by eating the safe half. And when Snow White bit the red half, she fell dead instantly. The wicked queen laughed maniacally.
"White as snow, red as blood, black as ebony. This time, no one can save you."
Back at the palace, the magic mirror finally said, "You're the fairest of them all," satisfying the queen's jealous heart. The dwarfs could not save Snow White despite all efforts. Heartbroken, they wept and laid her in a glass coffin, where she appeared lifelike, as if sleeping peacefully. Sometime later, a prince saw Snow White in the glass coffin and was captivated by her beauty. Moved by pity and love, he asked to open the coffin and gently kissed her in farewell. Miraculously, the prince's kiss broke the curse. Snow White woke, blushed, and smiled at him. Overjoyed, he proposed, and they married in a grand palace wedding, inviting even the wicked stepmother. When she saw Snow White as the bride, her envy triggered her magic to backfire, turning her into an ugly black crow that screeched in terror and fled into the forest, never to return. The story closes with 2 opposing fates. Snow White finds happiness through kindness, while the queen loses everything to envy. The image of the beautiful queen transforming into an ugly black crow is a profound reminder. Envy does not kill the enemy. It corrodes and destroys the soul of the one who harbors it. The queen had everything: power, beauty, and a throne, yet she remained utterly miserable simply because she could not accept that someone else was better. Conversely, Snow White, despite being stripped of everything, survived through her ability to connect and love those around her, From the huntsman to the 7 dwarfs, the lesson for us is this: do not let the magic mirror of comparison dictate your life. Outer beauty will fade, but inner worth is what keeps you from becoming a lonely crow in your own story.